The funny thing about small talk is that most people see it as something to suffer through, like the opening band at a concert before the main event. Deep conversations and real connections. But if you put your phone down for just 2 minutes and looked around, you'd realize that every interaction, every relationship, starts with small talk. Even your best friend was once a stranger who asked, "What classes are you taking?" Or some equally awkward question. Now, here's an unpopular opinion. Small talk isn't about what you say. It's about making the other person feel like a human, not a character waiting for input. You don't need a script, cheat code, or even charisma. You just need to master one thing: active observation. Active observation means truly paying attention to the person in front of you, like they're the only thing that exists at that moment. Not their vibe or aura, just tangible details. Their shirt, their drink. The way they keep glancing at the clock like they'd rather be anywhere else. When you notice these things, you can comment on them in a way that invites a response instead of demanding one. Why does this work? First, people love to feel seen. Not in a deep, mysterious way, but in a simple, "Hey, I notice you exist" way. It's basic psychology. Humans crave acknowledgement. Second, it's disarming. When you make an observation, you're not putting pressure on them to perform. You're not hitting them with, "So, what do you do?" Or, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Instead, you're tossing a ball in their direction to see if they want to throw it back. For example, imagine you're at a coffee shop and the person next to you is holding a book. Most people would say, "What are you reading?" because they think it's polite. But that puts pressure on the person to explain, justify, or summarize. Instead, say, "That book looks like it's been through a lot." Boom. You've made an observation that's neutral yet engaging. Maybe they'll laugh and say, "Yeah, it's my third reread." Or maybe they'll say, "Oh, it's terrible, but I'm finishing it out of spite." Either way, you've started a conversation without making them feel like they're being interviewed. Let's say you're at a party, an introvert's worst nightmare. Someone walks by holding a plate of food that looks questionable. Instead of ignoring them or hiding in the corner, say, "Is that the chicken? Looks like it fought back." Again, it's an observation that invites humor. Maybe they'll laugh and agree, or maybe they'll defend the chicken. Either way, you've opened a door. The beauty of active observation is that it works everywhere. Work meetings, first dates, family gatherings, you name it. It takes the focus off you. You don't have to be charming or witty. You just have to notice things and point them out. To practice, train yourself to notice details. This means putting your phone down, taking your headphones out, and paying attention to your surroundings. What are people wearing? What are they doing? Are they fidgeting, checking their watch, scrolling on their phone? These little things tell you a lot. Then, turn those observations into comments. Don't overthink it. No one cares as much as you think they do. If you see someone in a bright yellow jacket, say, "That's a bold color choice. I respect it." Done. It doesn't need to be original. You just have to open the door. Finally, get comfortable with silence. Not every observation will lead to a conversation, and that's okay. The goal isn't to force anything. It's to give people the opportunity to engage if they want to. If they don't, you move on. No harm, no foul. The more you do this, the easier it gets. Small talk isn't about impressing people or proving you're interesting. It's about standing on your feet, paying attention, and making people feel seen. That's it. It's not that deep, but it works. And honestly, once you get good at it, it's kind of fun. Think about it. When was the last time someone genuinely noticed something about you and mentioned it in a non-weird way? Probably not recently. People are too caught up in their own heads to notice others. So when you do, it's like a glitch in the matrix. People pay attention because they're not used to it. Another example, you're at a Halloween party. Someone walks in wearing a tie with tiny rubber ducks on it. Most people would ignore it or say something generic like, "Nice tie." Not you. You say, "Okay, I need to know the story behind the ducks." Now you've made it personal. turned their accessory into a conversation starter and made them feel interesting. This works with anything. Notice someone's shoes? Say, those look way too clean to be comfortable. See their coffee order? Say, that's a lot of whipped cream for someone who doesn't look like they're celebrating. Even with someone's dog. I feel like your dog judges people, and I respect that. You're not trying to be funny or clever. You're just noticing things and turning them into engaging comments. And one more thing, you have to mean it. People can sense fake interest from a mile away. If you're only doing this because you think you should, it won't work. You have to genuinely care, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Many introverts think they're bad at small talk because they don't like shallow conversations. But small talk isn't shallow if you're actually paying attention. It's just the first layer. The more you practice active observation, the more you'll realize people are fascinating, even when they talk about boring things. So the next time small talk is inevitable, which is almost every social situation, try active observation. Notice something, comment on it, and let the conversation unfold naturally. You don't have to be the most interesting person in the room. You just have to be present. And once you nail this, small talk stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a fun game. You stop worrying about what to say because you realize it doesn't matter. What matters is showing up, paying attention, and making people feel seen. That's the whole point. So, next time you're in line at a coffee shop, notice the person in front of you. What are they wearing? What are they holding? How are they standing? Pick one thing, make a comment, and see what happens. Worst case, they don't respond and you move on. Best case, you've just made a connection.